how do we really make goals a reality? And how do we set them in a way that just become our existence, not just our dream? Last year, I set goals with my kids every year. I have a 15 and a 13-year-old, and I have a little 20-month-old. But every year with my older kids, and hopefully someday with little Luca, the youngest, we set New Year's resolutions, we set goals, and I do this similar process with them. At the level of 15 and a 13-year-old will want to do this. But I always come up with a theme for the year. And the theme for 2021 is the same theme that I've given to them that we've agreed on for 2022. And it's simply this: who are you when no one is watching? If you're a part of my family, you know you've heard me say that before, but I think that's one of the greatest questions we could ask ourselves. Because you know what happens is we talk about we want more, we want to make more, we want more intimacy in our relationship. But are we doing the things when no one's watching, not to prove to anyone, not even to prove to God or the universe or whatever you believe in, to show you there is nothing, hear me, there is nothing more powerful than congruency to reach your full potential, to have confidence, to be courageous. You know, listen, we all have friends that say they want the passion back in their relationship. Does anybody here have a friend that would love passion or a connection back in a relationship, a friend that tells you? Anybody have a friend that tells you they want passion or connection in their relationship, but they're on Facebook looking up old high school boyfriends or girlfriends, DMing people when nobody's knowing? I know a couple people in my life that say they want, in front stage, they want the connection, they want the love again, but when no one's watching, they're kind of doing the stuff that derails that. People who say they want to be in the best shape of their life. This is the year I want to be healthy. My kids deserve me to be healthy. But when no one's watching, they skip the workout, or they go to the gym, but they sit on their phone the whole time. And when they should order something a little healthier, they order something they shouldn't order. But when no one's watching, it's no big deal, right? And then they're telling their friends at lunch, I just don't know why the weight won't come off. I'm in the gym 5 days a week. I'm eating so great. BS. You're not doing the work when no one's watching. Right? You say you want that business to thrive, to go to another level, but you did all the easy parts. And now you got to dig into marketing. You got to let your friends know you're going in this business. It's a little uncomfortable, so when no one's watching, you're working on your logo or the name of your site rather than the marketing that actually gets you out there, or the phone call you need to make to close the deal. But you tell your friends it's not working, but really, you're not doing the work you should be doing when no one's watching. You guys feeling me on this one? Congruency is so unbelievable, and that's where values come from. That's where character comes from. I am by far not saying I'm perfect in any shape, way, or form, but I have an obsession now, especially at this phase of my life. I want to be so congruent that if my wife, my kids put a hidden camera on me for a week and they watch it, be like, damn, he does the same stuff he talks about. I would love for you guys to see me at a restaurant having a conversation with my family. You're in the booth behind me and you don't know that I don't know you're there, and you get done and go, damn, that's the same guy I met when we were on camera. That is so powerful. And the reason it's the theme for my kids is, listen, 15 or 13, who has kids? Right? Raise your hand if you have children. In today's world, can they pretty much do anything they want on social? I mean, they could be online, they could find porn in 2 minutes, they could do a million things. At 15, I know my daughter has friends that already drink, already do some other stuff, right? They could lie about all of it, turn off their locations and figure it out. I have to train my kids give them the ability to understand is who you are when no one's watching, is who you really are. I said, you could act perfect in front of me, perfect in front of your teachers, but if you're doing the things when no one's watching, then that's you, God, the universe, your character. And my kids are far from perfect, but they understand core values because of that. So today, I'm taking a little longer as we start here this morning. I want to share with you that could be a theme, or come up with your own 2022 theme. But I want to do the work. When I think about that, when no one's around, I want to do the work to be a better. When no one was watching, for 4 days straight, I obsessed on what I was going to teach you today. It'll seem really easy, thing like it's just coming off my tongue. I have this whole thing laid out to get you the results you deserve, you desire, right? I did the work when no one's watching, so now when I'm front stage, it looks easy, looks amazing, but I really got my own notes and cheat sheet here. Make sense? So 2022, could we all agree to do the work when no one's watching, right? My daughter and son both pitch. They love winning games. You don't win on stage. You know when you win? You win when my daughter and son are out back. At 4:30 today, my daughter will be with her pitching coach, and she'll pitch for 2 hours. She'll pitch until her arm hurts. She does that on a regular basis, but when she goes and wins a game, it's because of what she did when no one was watching. So Anyway, wanted to share that little gift there that I believe really has made a difference in my life. Okay, you ready? We're going to go over these 9 things. We're going to go over kind of quick. I'm about 15 minutes behind from where I wanted to be. So, number 1, and if you guys feel like writing these things down, you can, to share with everybody else. Put them in your journal, write them down, is get and handle bigger problems in 2022. Get bigger problems. You see, if we look forward to them, if we tell ourselves, bring them on, I want bigger problems. You see, bigger problems equal bigger results. Don't wish for no problems. Did you ever hear that joke? It's a gambler who gambles nonstop, passes away. He wakes up and all of a sudden he's in a casino. He's dressed to the nines. And every time he walks up to a slot machine, he puts in money. And he pulls the handle and money comes out. He's like, oh my God, I won. He goes to another and puts money in and pulls the handle. Oh my God, I won. And he keeps going, and all of a sudden he puts money in and he's just winning every time. And he puts money in and he's winning every time. Finally, he's got this big bucket of quarters or money, and he walks up to one of the people dressed nice, and he's like, oh my God. He said, I didn't think heaven would be like this. And the guy looked at him and said, who said you're in heaven? You see, we all think we want it easy. We all think we just want we want to open the gates and all the money and the happiness and the joy just pour out. Why, when people hit lotto, do they go broke? Because they had the resources handed to them, but they never found a way to be resourceful. You see, how we get resourceful is actually understanding that problems are the path to our bigger future. So if we handle bigger problems, we get bigger results. I know it's counterintuitive, but I want to give you a lot of counterintuitive stuff today. Can I tell you something? The stress to get a deal closed. I started in real estate. I started fixing cars and in real estate 30 years ago, right? 30-something years ago. I remember the stress it took to get a deal done to make $2,000. And the worry and try to close the deal and get the buyer, and I didn't have the finances and the money, and I'd borrow money here and put some money on credit cards, all this stress. And I've also sat at a closing table where I did a $15 million deal. I just did a $14 million deal at the signing table. Got a check literally 5 weeks ago. I'm not saying that to brag. I've done much bigger deals. But I want to tell you this. I've done the $1,000 deals and the multi-million-dollar deals. It's the same stress. It's the same worry. It's not more of a problem to do a $15 million deal than a $1,500 deal. I know that sounds crazy and we have to work our way up, but here's what I know. I wish someone would have told me sooner. Go out and conquer bigger problems. Solve things other people can't. Be the person that finds solutions, and watch your 2022 go to another level. Don't avoid them. Go after them. Learn from them and realize that they're always going to be there. Every level brings you a new challenge. And when you're ready for it, you keep climbing the ladder. So number 1 is get and handle bigger problems. Number 2, take ownership of all of it in 2022. Take ownership of all of it. And what do I mean by that? Can I say it like it is? No one is coming to save us. I can only talk about in depth of what I see in the politics here in America. I don't know if you think our old president was crazy or our new one's crazy. I don't care. That's your choice. But do you think there is any politician here in America or anywhere in the world that's going to come wave a magic wand and make everything perfect for us? Pay off our debt, make things better, things will go easy, no more inflation, money's fine, my debt's gone. Is anybody coming to save us? Can we just say it like it is? No one is coming. And politicians have evolved to be politicians. The only way things get better is if we take complete ownership. Listen, don't wait for permission from your husband, from your parents, from your children, from anyone. Remember, God gave it to you, not them. The universe gave it to you, not them. You see, I really believe sometimes our subconscious is really powerful. It's like this powerhouse computer. And when things don't go right, it says, it's not your fault. Your husband's not all in with you. It's not your fault. You see how crazy our president is or how crazy our president was. It's not your fault. Inflation is here. It's not your fault. We have COVID. It's not your fault. We have shutdowns. And all I know is if you have a millimeter, a crumb of you saying, I could do this, but If there's any but, that means you're not taking complete ownership, even if someone else let you down, even if the partner robbed all your money, even if your spouse cheated on you. I get that. And a lot of you are here for a lot of different reasons: money, health, life, passion. What if you just took complete ownership? I chose this schlub that was unfaithful to me, right? I made this mistake. I waited too long. I accepted this. I'm not saying it's right, but here's what I want to tell you. When you decide that it's all on you, oh my God, it's so liberating. Because then it's all on you. If it wins, that's you. If it doesn't win, that's you. So in 2022, what if we decided to take ownership of all of it? Okay, that's number 2. Take ownership of all of it. Number 3, who will you learn from, listen to, or be persuaded by in 2022? The most expensive advice in the world is bad advice. It's your broke friend telling you how to get rich. It's your single friend telling you what you should do with your relationship. Who in here has ever had an idea for an invention, something you thought the whole world would want to buy, or a business idea? Who in here has ever had an idea like that? Who in here has ever had an idea that you really felt like fired up by, and then you went and told your friend, your mom, your cousin, your husband, your wife? You felt so good about it and you told them, you were all excited, and they were like, oh, that won't work. Oh, you got to get a patent. You know how much it costs to get a patent? Then you're going to try to get it on TV. Then you got to go to China and try to manufacture it. And then you got to do this. And then you got to, it probably won't work. And all you need is like a millimeter, like just enough to go, maybe it won't. And then you don't do it. Who's ever had that idea, got that advice, and then a year later, 5 years later, you saw your thing on TV or on the internet making someone else $1 gazillion? Who's ever had that experience, right? We all have in our own way, shape, or form, right? We are letting unqualified people tell us where our future should be. And the way I look at it is, I don't want anybody steering my ship. Like, I have these silly little analogies if you're meeting me for the first time, but I like things that stick. If something pops in your head and go, damn, I'm letting him, I'm letting her, I'm letting that thought steer my ship. Listen, at the end of our lives, let's just, again, I digress a little bit, but I want to anchor each one of these things. At the end of our lives, if you have the chance to meet with God, meet with your Maker, whatever you believe that is, do you want to give excuses on why it didn't work because you listened to other people? My mom said that wouldn't work. My husband thought that was a crazy idea. My cousin Diane said that, you need money to make money, or that men are evil, and once they cheat, every man cheats, or every man's bad. Like, I don't know what that is. But would you hate to be at the end of your life and realize that you missed out on love? You missed out on connection, missed out on that business because you took bad advice? I always think about this. I do these little tricks that maybe you think are mean, but I always think of if you met your Maker at the end of your life. Imagine if God pulled out his iPhone, because of course he's got an iPhone. Imagine God pulled out his iPhone and played you a video of the woman or man you could have been. Think about that one for a minute. Imagine seeing a 3-minute highlight reel of the love you could have had, the health you could have enjoyed, the impact you could have made on the world. Man, I think about that and it just freaking like, hell no, it's go time. Who feels like it's go time just when you hear that, right? I do not want that. I want God to be like, damn, you're a crazy bastard. You just went for it, failed miserably. Oh my God, where did you get that drive from? That's who I want to be, right? And will we fail? Of course, but I would so much rather be on the field playing and failing than being in the sidelines wearing someone else's jersey on the back of my shirt. I am not putting someone else's name on my jersey. It's Graziosi on the back, and I'm in the game. And that's in the game of life. So be careful who you get advice from. In 2022, who are you listening to? Who are you surrounding yourself to? What communities are you a part of? Look at this community that you're a part of right now. You just say, hi, I'm going all in. You got thousands of people support you, love you. Go inside the Facebook group and say, I'm looking to go to another level. I'm having a down day. You know how many people will say, it's okay, you're having a down day. Use it as fuel, right? Like, just watch who you surround yourself with. And if you have certain people that bring you down, then you got to find a way to either spend less time with them or be Teflon. Hear me on that. You must. Who we surround ourselves is who we become. That's not my saying. That's been around since the beginning of time. It's a fact. So, who will you listen to, learn from, and who will you be persuaded by? Find those that are living life where you want to live and model it. Listen, today, I'm sharing what I've learned over 30 years of going after it. I've failed miserably. I've had an ulcer in my life. I went through a divorce. I've had panic attacks. I've had anxiety attacks. I went broke once, all the way down to nothing. Had to sell the house I was living in. But I've also found real love in my life. If you guys follow me on Instagram, my wife and I don't have an Instagram relationship. I'm married to the love of my life. I fall more in love every day. My wife's here today. When she came in today, I see her. It's 5 years we've been together. She walks in a room, I feel like I'm 12 years old and I'm in love with my best friend. I love being a dad. I live in the house of my dreams. I get to fly on my own plane. I get to do all this cool stuff. I have 15 different companies. And last year we fed 7 million people through Feeding America. Last year we built 2 schools in Africa. Last year I donated $600,000 of my own money to help kids in slavery through Operation Underground Railroad. And that's only some of the things we've done. I don't say that to brag. I say that because that was a kid who lived in a trailer park, who lived in a bathroom with his dad, who didn't go past high school, who got made fun of, who had parents who struggled terribly. I'm not saying, look what I've done, magic. I'm just saying what's possible when you shift the outcome, when you decide to follow people who've already done it. Model people that, if you want to play great tennis, I don't care if your Aunt Edna watched every tennis match for the last 40 years. If she's never played, never won, never failed, you can't take advice from Aunt Edna. You could give her a kiss and bring her some flowers and go find someone who used to play tennis or plays tennis better than you and let them raise your bar. Raise your bar. You know what 2022 really is? If you want another level, is raise your standards. Raise your standards. Raise what you're willing to accept for yourself and for your family. And whatever area you're trying to improve. This isn't just about money, it's about any area. Raise your standards. Raise your standards in your relationship. Raise your standards for your health. Raise your standards for your impact, your income, your career. If you expect more from yourself than anybody else would expect, life will change. You guys ready for that? Raise your standards, okay? What's up, what's up? Hey, don't forget to look at the action steps we've posted below. They are the perfect way to take your success, abundance in this crazy world to a whole nother level.